we're going to make a light chicken stock. And what I mean by light chicken stock, it's not cooked for a long period of time. We typically cook our chicken stock in our restaurants for just 45 minutes after they come to a simmer. After we've cleaned them and come to a simmer, it's a 45-minute low simmer process, which results in a beautiful, clear, light chicken stock and light in flavor. We use it as a workhorse for many different things. Most of our pasta on pickup is cooked in chicken stock, this light chicken stock. You can use it in a number of different ways. You can even reduce it down to fortify the flavor and make a chicken soup out of it. The first thing we're going to do, we have chicken feet here, as you see, our chicken necks, backs, and our carcasses. We want to make sure that they're really clean. So we're going to rinse them off and then drain them. Sometimes you'll get chicken necks and backs in your grocery store, and they'll be full of the livers or the lungs. You want to make sure you clean all of that off. It's very easy. We'll take it over here to our sink. Cold water. And sometimes, depending on how many impurities are on there, or how much blood's on there, or how much of the insides are left, we'll let that run for maybe 10 or 15 minutes. These are very clean because these are the ones that we're using. But basically, I have them in a large bowl, as you saw, and I'm just rinsing them. And let me show you, if I can, get in here with you. You can see the color of the water has been impacted. Some of the blood. And we certainly want to clean all those impurities so that we have pure flavors in our chicken stock. Once we're satisfied, the fat that's on there is perfectly fine. In fact, we're going to show you in a little while how to recover that fat and being able to use a schmaltz or a cooking fat. We like these fats from our proteins, as I showed you with our veal stock fat. We want to be able to capture the chicken stock or the chicken fat as well. So we're going to go ahead and put those in our stock pot. The chicken feet are going to add a little bit of viscosity to the chicken stock, but not as much as we saw in our veal stock. We're going to add 6 liters of water. Again, if you want to intensify your stock after you've made it, then just continue to reduce it. Of course, after you take it off the bones. We're going to offset that from the heat so that as it comes up to a simmer, it's pushing all of the impurities to one side. Okay? So we're monitoring the heat of our stock right now. And this is a very, very easy stock to make. It's really chicken bones, water, and mirepoix. We can see as the water now is almost coming to a simmer, and we never want to have it at a full boil. It's too violent. It breaks the bones down, will break the fiber, certainly of our vegetables down, and create a cloudy stock. And then when we strain it, a lot of that liquid, that valuable stock will stay inside the vegetables, so they act as a sponge as well. So we need to be careful with that. But as it's coming up, and I want you to notice this, you can start to see some of the scum around the outside. The bones are starting to come up now. That's a product of the blood that's on our bones. So the cleaner that you can get your bones, the less that'll be a problem for you. We've got it off center. Again, I want to be able to skim that off of there, but I see a nice layer of chicken fat there, which I don't want to lose that. So I want to be cautious to remove the impurities that are coagulating, that will coagulate against the side without taking off some of the smallest, which we want to be able to capture. So just slightly, I push my ladle against the side while I turn it around to capture that. Okay, and then again, we have our ladle with a bain-marie and some water in it, so my ladle comes out almost clean each time. Sometimes you can help it out and just push it over yourself, like that. You see that beautiful layer of golden fat on the top. We want that. I'm going to show you how to retrieve that in a moment. I'm going to move that around just a little bit to see if there's any, see how much more scum came to the top there. So just by moving those bones a little bit, helping release anything that's attached to them so that it floats to the surface, can be helpful as well. Okay. In our restaurants, we're constantly skimming our stocks, making sure that they're as clean as possible. Keep them clear and keep those flavors really bright. Keep those flavors true. You can see we're starting to get to a little simmer here. We haven't added our mirepoix yet because we want, again, clean, clean, clean. Okay, what I want to do now is I'm just going to turn it way down. So stop simmering. Skim what I have on top at the moment. You can always be skimming. It's kind of like cleaning. You can always be cleaning. We're just going to add some ice to it. And the purpose of this is it's going to solidify, or at least help solidify that fat so we can skim it off easier. You can see how it turns golden. See all that? Pushing it out. We'll clean this up a little later. We'll chill it and clean it. So we have a little bit of schmaltz there, which is very wonderful. Turn our stock back on. Now we'll add our mirepoix. And be careful. The liquid's hot. You don't want to splash anything. Here we have all of our ingredients now in our chicken stock. We're going to let that come up to a simmer for 45 minutes. We'll skim off any impurities that come to the top, of course. Then we'll strain it. You'll have your light chicken stock, the workhorse of any good kitchen. You can see it's at a slow simmer. It continues to throw off some impurities. So before I strain it, I'm going to go ahead and skim it one last time. Again, I'm just going to lightly push everything to the top, just like that. Very simple. And just collect all those impurities with that ladle, just by dipping it lightly just below the surface, right? Cleaning my ladle off one more time. I'm really happy with this chicken stock. A low simmer is key to keeping it clear. Skimming is key to keeping it clear. So those two things are very important. Now, once you make your chicken stock, or any stock for that matter, you can cool it down, chill it. You can freeze it in specific quantities if you like. Or if you keep it in your refrigerator, I suggest that you reboil it every 3 days if it's going to be sitting there longer than 3 days. It's a rule of thumb that we have in our restaurants. We always label and date anything that goes into our walk-ins or to our refrigerators so that we know the date that it went in there. So our stock specifically would then get reboiled every 3 days. But with a chicken stock, that's typically not the case because we do use it for so many different things. Really beautiful. Got a very light chicken aroma. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing we did with our veal stock. We're gonna remove the large pieces before we take it to our strainers. Again, I'm working on a moistened kitchen towel here, just in case any drips or something happens. This is a marble surface, so it gets pretty slick and things can slide around. So I want to prevent any accidents. I'm always taking precautions. I'm always thinking about the worst thing that could happen here and then adjusting my actions to reduce the possibility of the worst thing happening. Now, as you can see, there is still, it'll start to gather a little bit of chicken stock in the bottom there. So I wouldn't throw this out. I would later on, after it starts to all collect to the bottom, is just you can either push it off or you can take this off and get a little more chicken stock just to make sure you're doing the job thoroughly. And start to strain it. It's where I feel comfortable lifting up the stock pot and pouring it in. It's heavy and it's hot. So again, I always want to caution you. We can see the clarity of that as I'm pouring it. That was because of all of the care that went into making it. Cleaning the bones, bringing it up to a slow simmer to remove all that the impurities and the scum. Adding our ice to remove the chicken fat. And of course, maintaining a slow rolling simmer throughout the cooking process and paying attention to it and skimming it when needed. So I'm pretty confident that I won't hurt myself. But again, I'm always moving things out of the way so I don't in any way encumber my movements. Making sure that my towels are folded correctly or I have the proper pot holders for the amount of heat that's in the handles. You notice how I always pause before I let that start to roll over because I want the stock to stop moving or whatever liquid's inside the pot to stop moving around. And then we can just have that nice stream. Again, you see that rolled edge, how it makes it just have a nice even stream. So certainly something to consider when you're buying cookware. All right. Keeping things close by to be effective and efficient. And then again, we have, in this time, you see a little different shape strainer. It's conical, but it is the same fine screen meshes that we had in our basket. This is a chinois. Then you see a few impurities collecting the bottom of our chinois. Not much. Still nice and clear. I'm not sure if you can see that. You can see just minute particles in our stock. And of course, the aroma is that chicken. It's not a roasted chicken, it's a clean chicken aroma. Remember, you should always be taking your time when doing things. Never try to rush. Now then, positioning. There we go. Get the right grip on it. Right, there we go. You can see, not a lot, but still enough impurities to cloud your stock. And look at that. Beautiful. Here we have it, our beautiful light golden chicken stock.